So I'd like to call the March 2nd, 2021 meeting of the East Long Meadow Planning Board to order. Those in attendance are Pete Punderson, Tide Richards, George Kingston, John Torsha, myself, Russell Denver, Planning and Community Development Director Beth Yao, and Rebecca Jones from the Office of Planning and Community Development. We're required by Mass General Law to ask whether there is anyone else who might be recording this meeting other than LCAT. Please raise your Zoom hand, be called into the meeting, and you be recognized and let us know who you might be. Hearing none, I'd like to do the approval of the February 16th, 2021 meeting minutes. Hopefully everyone's had an opportunity to review them. I know Rebecca sent them out earlier. Anyone have any additions, corrections they want to put to it? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the February 16th, 2021 meeting minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor by roll call. Mr. Punderson?
Aye.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Kingston?
Aye.
Mr. Torsha?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. Mr. Clerk, first item of business, please.
Okay, we have a site plan waiver, case SPRW 2021-2021-7. Request for site plan waiver, review waiver for a Complex Sport LLC, an exercise and sport training facility at 80 Denslow Road, Assessor's Parcel ID 10-8-0, in an existing structure on 4.64 plus or minus acres site in the Industrial Garden Zoning District. The applicant is Joanne Valera, Complex Sports LLC, 80 Denslow Road, East Long Meadow, Mass.
So is the petitioner available?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So we can hear you. We can't see you.
All right.
Lower left-hand corner should be what looks like a camera.
God, is that better? Can you see me?
We can see you.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. So we just want to just get some preliminary information about you, about the business, hours of operation, what you plan on doing there, whether you might have any commercial vehicles as part of there. Is this the building that is directly next to the bike path?
Yes, correct.
And is it going to be taking the place of a fitness center that was there and operating?
Correct. Part of the area of the old CrossFit.
Okay. So why don't you tell us about yourself and about the business and what you have in mind for there?
Okay. My name's Joanne Valera and owner of Complex Sports LLC. We're basically a baseball, softball training facility and encourage youth in the area of all areas. We work very closely with Powerhouse in the same building, and just to provide a facility in the Northeast, mainly when it's cold, that kids could have a positive environment to train safely and effectively.
And your proposed hours of operation would be?
Right now we're 9 to 9. Not all of those hours are, it's more by appointment, if you will.
Okay.
But those are the main hours.
Okay. Questions from the board?
Yeah. Are you using the field behind the building? And if so, what is the structure that's out there?
We're not using that at all. It's my understanding that Powerhouse, another tenant in there, is using it in the summertime. I think they put up outdoor like batting cages basically. But
Okay.
no, I won't be using that area.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the waiver?
So moved, and with the comment that I'm really happy this is the first tenant of that building who's ever applied for a waiver.
Why try to play by the rules? So thank you.
Thank
Rebecca,
you.
I have to say, has been extremely helpful in this process. So,
Great, great.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none by roll call. Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. Congratulations and best wishes on your business.
thank you very much. Appreciate
care.
it. Thank you. So I can leave.
Next item, Mr. Richards.
Okay, now we have other business. A request for partial release of bond for Pondview Drive subdivision. Applicant is RJ Chapdelaine, 87 Shaker Road, East Long Meadow, Mass. And I have a letter that they submitted to the planning board that just says, Dear East Long Meadow Planning Board, I am writing to request a reduction in the bond for Pondview Drive subdivision. Tom Christine has prepared his update based on our completion of the town's requested punch list of items to be addressed. Please let me know when the board can get to me on the agenda. Sincerely, in advance, RJ Chapdelaine.
And Bethany, do you want to just, you could just read in the amount that Mr. Christensen recommends that we release?
Sure. So DPW has recommended that the town retain 20% of the original bond amount until street acceptance. The retained amount is $51,219 with a drawdown payment of $42,952.20.
So we would be authorizing the 42,000 and change.
Correct.
Is anyone from Chapdelaine in the audience?
Hello.
Hello. Well, we can hear you. We can't see you.
Oh, this is RJ Chapdelaine. I am, how about that?
Nope. So usually on the left, bottom left is what looks like a camera. There's
Yep.
probably a red line through it. Just hit that and your camera should start.
An iPad. I don't know if that's different, but let's see here. Oh, there it is. Start video. How is that?
All right, good. There you are. Okay. So we read your letter into the record and we read the amount that DPW is in favor of releasing. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Other than the fact that the costs to do any repairs, I think would be less than that. I do understand that the 20% is the standard for subdivisions, so I guess there is no real discussion involved. It is the amount, and that's what you will release as far as the bond goes, and I get it.
Okay.
I wish more, but I do understand.
I drove that on Sunday. You did a really wonderful job back there. The homes are beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Any questions for Chapdelaine? Hearing none, do I have a motion? Mr. Kingston, do you want to make that motion?
So moved.
We'll move to approve the partial release.
Pete, I take it you seconded that?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor by roll call. Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Richard,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well, so that matter passes. So Bethany, the next steps are,
I will draft a partial release document and I'll send it to you for review to your attorney, and then it'll be reviewed by the town's attorney before I bring them to the collectors so they can get the check cut and send off to you.
Thank you very much.
okay,
May I ask one?
sure.
What is the remainder of time? Is it 12 months or 18 months to the release of the full amount of the bond?
I'm going to leave that to Bethany.
And I think that's another question that we'd refer back to DPW as we wait for their recommendation as far as making sure the work's complete.
If I may, I thought it was when the tree is accepted
Accepted.
by the town council.
And then didn't we hear the last meeting that they actually have that process in place now, Bethany? Town council?
They do. They usually don't accept the street until there's been several freeze and thaw cycles to make sure that the pavement is in place and all set.
Several freeze and thaws? That's 48. Am I correct or incorrect? Several freeze and thaws is 12 months times 4, and that's 48 months? Is that correct?
I don't think that's the right number. I'm going to call on Tom Christensen. He's in the audience while he's here.
Okay. Tom, join the meeting, please. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good evening.
Did you hear the question?
I did hear the question.
Okay.
Just the one will suffice. The base has been down for 4 years or so. Once,
Actually, about 6.
huh?
It's actually been about 6 years now.
Okay. So it was inspected before the top course was put down, and it was in good shape, and the spots that weren't were repaired. So once we get through this one freeze thaw, if he goes through the process of having the street accepted by town council, we will sign off,
Perfect.
assuming everything else is in order.
Thank you.
You got it.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
Yep.
Thanks,
All right.
Tom.
No problem. Have a good
All
night.
right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next item of business, there's nothing specifically on the agenda, is that correct?
That's
Fine.
correct.
Bethany, do you want to give an update on anything?
Sure. Just really quickly about the local rapid recovery plan grant that I submitted a couple weeks ago. I got an email this morning. We are being matched with the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, and I will be attending a webinar about how that will play out in the next week or so. So I will keep everyone updated when I learn some more.
So am I to anticipate we will have a lengthy agenda on March 16th?
Yes, we do have 5 public hearings scheduled. And we actually had more submittals that we are scheduling to the first meeting in April just because it was becoming too intense. So it will be a long meeting. We do have some of those materials up on the Google Drive folder if you want to take a look at them now. And Rebecca will be emailing them out at a later date.
Any other questions for Bethany from anyone? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none by roll call. Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Punderson.
Aye.
And I'm a yes as well. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
Take care.